All right, everybody. Welcome to On the Screws Golf. My name is Hank Morris, content creator and streamer for Advanced Rookie, Pro, and Expert content and divisions. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Paradise Island tournament. I think you're going to really enjoy this this video. I'm sorry, I was reading an email. This video regarding the advanced rookie guides this evening, and I think we've got a really good opportunity to get in the -16, -17 range for this tournament with this guide. What you got to do is you got to follow it, you got to be precise, you got to hit perfect, and watch them drop. So let's go. All right, everybody, welcome. Here we go. All right, Advanced Rookie Paradise Island Tournament. Let's get this rolling. All right, here we go. Hole number one, Advanced Rookie. All right, what we're going to do, this is our first of the 3 par 4s. And we're going to go extra mile 6 or 7, end bringer 3, 4, or 5. What we're playing as Advanced Rookie, not all of you are going to play it this way, but this is the way I choose to play it, is with a power slice, okay? So on the first tee shot, you're not going to use any elevation because you're doing a power slice. But key is, if you're at 3.7 miles of an hour of wind or greater, your initial landing zone, which is the second picture from the bottom left, you can when you get the link, the link will be in the description below. You're going to be able to access that link, blow it up to what size you need to see, and you'll be able to see exactly where the landing spot is out there. Okay, but once you're there and you have 3.7 miles an hour or greater, you want to move that to the right 1.5, 1.5, 2 rings, depending on what you think is best for you. Then at that point, you're going to then adjust 14 rings to the left for an extra mile 7. For an extra mile 6, it's 13 rings to the left. Extra mile 5, you just don't have enough curl on the ball or with the club of the extra mile 5 to give you a really good chance at making a good adjustment here. So extra mile 6, 7, or 8 would be your best. So when you do that, you're going to give yourself a full backspin, full over power, full right curl, and then when the needle gets all the way over to the right, you're going to release, and that'll give you your power slice, and it's going to rip around the bend down there, land in the middle of the fairway, and get all the way down either into that rough area that protrudes down near the green, through it for an end bringer shot, or to the right and next to that bunker. Okay, so with the full top spin and the full right spin and the full overpower, full curl, and the full slice should put you in one of those very, very enviable positions that your opponent will not be in. Your opponent will be taking a mid to long iron in there, while you're in there with a short wedge shot for an easy eagle. So on the second shot, which is with what we were using, an end bringer, no top spin, no side spin, mid adjustment, and hit it perfect, and it goes in for a very easy eagle on hole number 1. -2 on the card, heading to hole number 2, option 1. Okay, so we have 2 options for hole number 2, which is our first par 3 of this Paradise Islands Advanced Rookie. Goliath 5, 6, or 7. Goliath 6 or 7 has a more developed ball guide, so that gives you more of an advantage here than the Goliath 5. So just be cautious. It still works. It's just going to have a shorter ball guide. It's going to give you a little bit more difficult time to make sure that you have it adjusted at the hole or precisely to the left of the pin, etc. When you get into technical shots. So we're going to use a Marlin ball at plus 20% at max. You're going to be at 3.5 backspin, you want to aim to the left side of the pin inside the cup for 2.7 miles an hour of wind or less. If you're a little bit higher than that, at 3.2 or higher, you're going to aim down the seam, which is to the left of the pin on the green. Okay? And when you do that and you hit it perfect, you should give yourself a really, really consistent hole-in-one over and over. Okay, so that's hole 2, option 1. Hole 2, option 2. Now, for those of you who are backbone enthusiasts, backbone number 8, this is the one I had in my bag, so this is the one we got the notes for. Navigator ball, 20% max adjustment, sounds just like option 1, just a backbone versus a Goliath, a navigator versus a Marlin, 4.5 backspin, no side spin versus 3.5 backspin. Now aim down the seam to the left of the pin, top of the white ring, just cutting the collar on the green, and give yourself the hole-in-one. Mark it on the card, -2 on that one. Added to your eagle on number 1, you're now -4 after 2. What a start. All right, hole number 3, par 5, first of 3 par 5s on this Paradise Island tournament. Extra mile 6-7, Viper 7-8, Sniper 5-6-7-8. So what we're going to do here is plus 10% max adjustment on shot number 1. You're going to go full topspin, 1 right spin, yellow ring cutting at the +9 yard mark on that first fairway. You're going to go ahead and adjust at max at 10%, hit perfect, bounce off the first pad, the second pad, out onto the third fairway out there, giving you 346 to 349 yards. If you accomplish that, you're going to then be at plus 20% max adjustment, and you have 2 options here. Viper 7, 2 top spin, no side spin, max adjustment. Half of the blue ring is going to cut the right rough, max adjustment, 20%, hit perfect. Or Sniper 6 or 7 or 8, full topspin probably is a little bit too much there. I'd go maybe a half a bar off of full topspin and then see how that fits in there. And no side spin, max adjustment, white ring cuts the right rough, no overpowering needed. You do not need to push back to max on these adjustments. Just hit it perfect and give yourself an opportunity for it to come in nice and slow. Let it matriculate from the top of the pin down towards that hole, and get yourself an albatross if you're lucky or if you're fortunate. Rare that we're going to get that, but if you hit it perfect, you have the right line with the right wind and the right adjustment, just might go in, and that's going to be a true advantage compared to the rest of the field in your bracket. All right, hole number 4, par 3. We have 2 options here. We have number 1, the Guardian. Okay, you can go Guardian 3, Guardian 4, Guardian 5. What we did on this with the Guardian 3 here was go ahead and have our first attempt was 3.5 backspin, 1 left spin at max adjustment with 10%. Bottom of the yellow ring was cutting that rough line at the bottom. The second bounce landed directly on the seam, which was 1 row to the right of the pin. So you can see the pin is kind of like in a seam, right in the transition of a dark row of seams and a light row of squares, And then the next seam over is where you want that second bounce to land on, okay? And if you do 3.5 backspin and 1 left spin at 10% max and hit it perfect, it's going to go dead center of the cup. It's going to be a little bit hard, though. It's going to come in hard. And I was not able to hold the pin, so it bounced out. So what I tried to do was go 4 backspin with 1 left spin with the exact same adjustment, same landing spot, and I came in left of the pin because of the extra backspin. So I suggest if you're going to go 4 backspin and 1 left spin, move that maybe to the middle of that dark row of squares and then take your 10% at max. Give yourself an opportunity to see where that comes in. And then you're going to have to tweak it from there for the rest of the qualifier, then into the opening, and then you'll hopefully have it dialed in by the weekend. Or you can go with option number 2 on hole 4, par 3. And that is the sniper 5, 6, and 7. We just found this out on our last account of this evening tonight. With a Titan and a Kingmaker, we were using a Kingmaker, 10% max adjustment on the shot, and we bounced it from the third pad onto that green, and we went full backspin, 3 left spin. We aimed the ball guide just a quarter square to the right of the cup, and we made a hole-in-one. It came in so beautiful, and it was a thing of beauty. Now, that was not a tournament hole. It was a playoff hole, but it was very comparable to the wind angle that we have in the tournament. So I feel very confident that full back, 3 left with a sniper. I think it was a sniper 7 we had. So sniper 5, 6, and 7. You're not going to have the ball guide like you have with a 7, but you still have the distance. You have the same back spins and side spins, and you have those attributes of the club you're looking for. You give yourself a really good chance of getting a birdie every single time with this shot, and the possibility, let's say 15-20% of the time, maybe making that hole-in-one, which is a true game changer in your division and your bracket for bannering. Okay, so that's hole number 4, option 2. Hole number 5, par 4, one of our 3 par 4s here. Extra mile 6 and 7, Goliath 6, 7, or 8, and then of course the Hornet 4 or 5. This one, I'm telling you, 90% of the time I'm going to be making eagle here. So here's how I do it. Katana ball, plus 10% with max adjustment on the tee shot. So in the second picture down there from the left, you'll see our landing spot. Yellow ring cutting the rough line. You're going to have the 100% of the yellow ring or the bullseye in the fairway, but it's going to cut that left rough line. You're going to go 2 top spin, full left spin. You're going to go at plus 10% max adjustment, and you're going to have about 75% of the ball curled to the left. You're going to hit perfect, and it's going to fly out there. It's going to land. It's going to bounce. It's going to roll out. It's going to roll to about 333 to 335 yards. If you get to that zone, you're going to have a max Hornet 5. You're going to be able to then go for our second shot. And that description, as you can see on the page here, 3 top spin, no side spin, and you're going to just aim up the left side of the dark green seam right to the hole. You're going to go ahead and use max adjustment with 3 top spin, no side spin. And even though that you might push back and forth and say, wow, that's about 60, 70% club, you're still going to use max adjustment in your wind app. So whatever your wind app says, use max adjustment at 0% elevation and hit it perfect. And that rough bump will go dead center of the cup if you use those adjustments. Okay. So let's go to hole number 6. So if we've done everything correctly, you're going to make eagle 1, you're going to make a hole-in-one on 2, you're going to make eagle on 3, you're going to make birdie on 4. We're 7 after 4. On hole number 5, if you can make that eagle there, you're now 9 after 5. That is some really great shooting. You're going to really be ahead of the curve. So this is a very strategic course. If you have the right adjustments and you hit perfect, you're going to give yourself a great chance to get up at the top of the podium. All right, hole 6, par 5, second of 3 par 5s, extra mile 6, 7, sniper 4, 5, 6, 7, or big dog 5, 6, 7. I'm finding that you really don't need the big dog here because if you hit it far enough down there, if you're playing with an extra mile 6 or 7, you're probably going to have a sniper at least 5, 6, or 7, and that's plenty. Now what's going to happen is we're going to try to take that sniper out of your hands and put the Goliath in your hands, okay? So here we go. Shot number 1, at 10%, you're going to go 2 top spin, 3 right spin. You're going to go 40% over power. You're going to then adjust for the wind and then push back up to max. So let's talk about that a little bit slower. As soon as the ball comes up and it's your turn, you're going to put your spin on. 2 top, 3 right. Then you're going to then go back and you're going to grab your target and you're going to push it all the way up past the bunker and past the rough line, get it in the fairway, and find out once you hit it in the right direction, where's that ball going to land and where's the ball going to go, in what direction with the 2 top and the 3 right. Once you get that settled right in the middle of the fairway out there where you want it to be heading after your tee shot, you'll then release it, it'll come back. Then what I want you to do is adjust for the wind. So let's say it's 3 miles an hour. You're going to adjust 10% at max at 3 miles an hour. Let's say that's 1.3 rings. Move that back 0.13. Then I want you to push it back up to max. Then you're going to find yourself more chances than not where you see the 3rd picture from the left right in the middle of that bunker as your landing spot. Then you're going to apply 40% over power. That's about 1/3 of your ball breaking the bottom of the power circle and the ball starting to shake a little bit, right? Then you let the needle go back and forth, hit it perfect, and you're going to land out in the fairway and you're going to roll out to anywhere between 369 and 371 yards. At that point, you're going to put yourself in Goliath range. Goliath 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, they're all 135. So you're going to be in there. So what you want to do is 1 backspin, 1 left spin, max adjustment. You're going to do the bounce shot and you put it about 2 squares short of the hole, 3 squares short of the hole, and aim it right at the stick. Hit it perfect after you adjust at 0% max. And it's a thing of beauty when it hits that first pad, hits down in the little bowl area, and then just rolls right up the hill into the hole for an albatross. It is a thing of beauty. So good luck on that shot. Pretty straightforward. And I think you're really going to like the adjustments. Okay. All right. Hole number 7, par 3. The last of our par 3s. All right. I've made this 3 out of 5 times now for a hole-in-one with this shot. So we're going to go Goliath, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Okay. Again, the ball guide is so important here. So Goliath 6, 7, or 8 is really going to be where you want to be. Goliath 5 with that limited ball guide, you're going to have a tough time. I mean, you can kind of guess where you want the ball, or based on these pictures, where you want the ball to land. But with the ball guide, it's going to be immensely helpful. 2 back, 1 right spin at max adjustment with 10% elevation. You're going to see that if you have 2.7 miles an hour or less, you want to aim where we have that ball guide going through the left of the hole and left of the pin, but inside the edge of the cup, okay? Left of the pin, but inside the hole. If you're at 3.6 miles an hour or greater, you want to aim right at the stick. Move that ball guide into the middle of the hole, okay? Then what you're going to do, you're going to do the rough bump at 2 backspin, 1 right spin. Your landing spot where you want that first first bounce to hit is there's that dark seam. That first dark seam that is away from the bunker edge there, that's where you want your ball to land if you can get it to land there, okay? And that's your aiming point. And then you're going to move it around a little bit. You're going to be a pixel or 2 off possibly based on getting the ball guide after 2 back and 1 right spin into the left edge of the cup if you're 2.7 miles per hour or less. Again, 3.6 miles an hour, they seem to jump pretty significantly on these holes. You're going to aim it in the middle of the cup. Once you do that, you go ahead and adjust 10% at max. You're going to pull it back towards the bunker, and then be cautious with that. It kind of glitchy and jumps a little bit fast, so just be careful you get the right adjustment. Hit it perfect, and give yourself a chance at that hole-in-one. All right, hole number 8. Coming up on the end here. Par 4. Not an easy one. I haven't made this one yet, but I am all over it. So, extra mile 6 and 7. Goliath 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to use a Titan ball, 20% max adjustment. Again, all the wind dependent. If you have 3.8 miles an hour or in that range, you're going to want to use 2.5 backspin, 2 left spin. Should end up in that 320 to 324 range, okay? If you have 2.8 miles per hour and you use 2.5 backspin, you're only going to be at 311 yards, okay? And that's not where you really want to be. So at 2.8 miles an hour, you're going to want to use the 2 backspin. So the lower the wind, the less backspin. The higher the wind, the more backspin, if that makes sense. So again, we're looking for the 320 to 324 range. So that would be at roughly, you know, if you're at 2.8, you're going to only use 2 backspin. If you're at 3.8, you're going to use 2.5 backspin. Should get you in that 320 to 324 range. And that's going to be at max adjustment with the right of the blue ring cutting the right rough. You're going to add 20%, max adjustment, and take your shot. Now on the second shot, that should leave you right in that gap at the top of the cliff up here, and you're going to do a rough bump. So you're going to do anywhere between 1.5 to 1 backspin rough bump, and the top of the yellow ring is going to cut the rough, and you're going to go ahead and aim it at the hole, maybe to the left of the pin a little bit, at 40% max adjustment, and then hit it perfect, hit the rough bump, give yourself an amazing opportunity for that Eagle 2. All right, so that is our preferred way of hitting and playing hole number 8. But I hit the ball, I would say I'm confident in hitting it perfect the majority of the time, so I don't mind trying that rough bump. And you know what? The wind is from east to west, so it's just it's a push wind. So if you hit great right or left, you're still going to hit that rough 9 times out of 10, and you're just going to be left or right of the hole. Okay, so it's pretty good wind in rookie to play the rough bump. All right, finally, hole number 9, our final par 5 of the day. Extra mile 6-7, sniper 4-5, 6-7, Viper 7, 8, or 9, depending on what level clubs you have, what you're playing. All right, we're going to use a Kingmaker here on shot number 1, 10% elevation. Shot number 2, 0 elevation. So you can see in the second from left picture, yellow ring cutting the left rough. You're going to go ahead and go full topspin, full left spin with about a quarter ball curl to the left. You want to end up anywhere between 326 to 330. And again, yellow ring cutting the left rough. And you'll see that second bounce, there's like a little shelf there or a ridge. And you want to be right to the right of that ridge. And it's going to give you a really great opportunity to dive into that ridge, bounce up, and then stay to the left of the right side of the rough line, okay? And the reason we do about a quarter ball curl is just in case we great right it, give ourselves a chance to stay out of that right rough. All right. Shot number 2, Viper 7-8. 1 top spin, no side spin, aim at the hole with max adjustment. Straightforward. That's where we made an albatross with the Viper 7-8. Sniper 6, you want to go 3 top spin, no side spin, aim at the pin, and give yourself max adjustment. Sniper 7, 2 top spin, no side spin, aim just to the left of the pin in the cup, and then max adjustment at 327 yards. All right, so we're just giving you, that's what I hit, and I was dead center, but I went 1.5 top spin. If I had the 2 top spin, we would have made ourselves our second albatross of the day there. So these are the notes. You have the pictures to see the spins, the landing spots, etc. I hope this will help you be productive and get yourself a banner in the Paradise Islands Advanced Rookie Division and category. I wish you all the very best and have a great tournament. Good luck.